Hi, I'm Craig, film enjoyer living. Got some life advice for you all that I got from this week's films. If you ever find yourself like face to face, like with a clown, ask yourself two questions. Am I at the circus or am I at a children's birthday party? If the answer to both of those questions is no, run away from that clown. Run away. Don't play with the clown. Okay? Can't believe I have to tell you people this. And special announcement, Linus, our good friend, the show's good friend Linus Fitness Centre, it is his 15th birthday today. I'm just guessing. I'm not sure exactly. He's 15 today. So birthday shout out to Linus. Yay! Happy birthday!
Yay! Official composer of Raiders of the Podcast. Something I never thought I'd say, but here we are. I'm sorry that's where your life led you.
Yeah.
I'm Tyler Hosley, and nobody handles nipples like Bobo.
I'm Kevin Matthews, Scottish film fan living in England, and this week, while Craig was busy taking notes to offer life advice on what to do if you see a clown in a non-clown environment, I was just taking similar notes, but really it was based around what you do if someone's going about with a javelin and they're not necessarily on a field where you would throw javelins, and you react to them the same way you do to the clowns in non-clown environments. You stay away from the javelin people who are not in javelin environments. That's the rule.
I think
Sounds like someone's been having nightmares about the javelin people.
I'm pretty sure I'd avoid javelins, like even on a field where javelins should be. It's a personal thing.
Oh yeah, a kid got skewered at my school a few years before I joined that school.
Nice.
Wasn't there something about the referees or that being in more danger because they've gotten more aerodynamic and go further?
Oh, maybe.
I'm sure that was a thing in recent years. And like, yeah, we can't even have the safety zone we used to have. We need to be even further away. Which personally, I think even if you're refereeing some javelin contest, don't stand at the end where the javelins land. I think that's just a good rule. Call me old-fashioned, but
Do you get disqualified if you throw your javelin through a judge's eye?
I don't know if you do. I mean, that's quite a good bit of accuracy, though, isn't it? You might get bonus points.
Incredible.
Well, you can only call it accurate if you're if you're planning to kill that man or woman. Then it's very accurate, and then you will be in trouble. If you're like, yes. I don't know the rules.
I'm Dave Gray, and this week I learned fighting's out of style, boys. Fun is where the fear is. And this is Raiders of the Podcast.
Yay!
This week I watched some extra movies that left absolutely no lingering aftertaste in my head because I've apparently become so closed off to horror movies that they just don't affect me anymore. I watched Glorious on Shudder, and it was a movie I saw. I watched Suitable Flesh, and it was a movie I saw. I watched the Mortuary Collection, which is like one of the Shudder originals I just hadn't gotten around to yet, and guess what? It was a movie I saw. Like, I can't remember shit about any of these three movies. Is that...
I really like the Mortuary Collection. I think that's a good one. I mean, Clancy Brown helps, but the young actress is really good, and it just plays with the idea of a, what do you call that kind of film?
Anthology.
Anthology.
Yeah, it plays with the idea of an anthology film. It's got a little meta.
I don't think any of them are bad. It's just I've watched so many horror movies in October that they're just kind of like none of them were strong enough to leave me a lasting
too much shudder. Too much shudder for you. It's very Kevin Seven on Shudder.
Yeah. I mean, and again, none of them were bad. They were fine. If they were bad, I'd have more to say about them. They were passable, watchable movies. Suitable Flesh. It had who was it?
Heather Graham.
Yes, Heather Graham. She was there. Joe Lynch directed it. It's the most Joe Lynch film I've seen. It's fine. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. It's just it was fine. Crap. Glorious was, it was fine. It was kind of like Mandy Light, I want to say, for some
I
reason.
really like
in my head.
Ryan Quanten.
Yeah.
Ryan Quanten, the Aussie guy.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah, Ryan Quanten, he's great, and J.K. Simmons is fantastic. But they're just like it was fine. It was the Kevin Seven of weeks. Nothing really lasted long enough in my head for me to be angry about, and it sucks because that's like my brand. That's my brand, so I've just been ranting to fill time, waiting for somebody else to step in and take the reins from me so I can stop, Kevin. Any minute now, Kevin. Please fucking
sorry.
save me from myself, Kevin.
I watched The Long Walk at last, and I enjoyed it. It was higher than a Kevin Seven, but I do sort of get a bit confused by people going on about how impressed they were that it was made so cinematic and what was done to it, because I didn't get that. It's the story of people who are walking. They have to keep walking for the film. It's above 3 miles an hour. They have conversations, things come about. You find out what happens when they can't maintain that pace and the warnings are up. That's it.
It could be a play, which is how cinematic it was.
Yeah. That's not to say, I like the cast. I mean, I know you're the same. I think Craig, we're both big fans of David Johnson.
He's fantastic.
I think he was slightly hampered by the accent here because there was a couple of people in this that were acting as, very much Stephen King types, which comes across when you read the story as well. But I think they mixed it up enough that it was enough of a departure while staying true to everything that was in the source material. Because people have been wanting this to be filmed for decades. So to finally have it is good. The performances are good, and I like the way they showed it. I mean, I really like this, but I couldn't hold it up and be like, this is a cinematic masterpiece of the year. It just isn't. I agree with you. It could make a good play done that way. So I did like it though, and then I really liked Sorry Baby. That dropped on Mubi, I think, at the end of last week. It's just great. I don't want to say too much about it. It's just brilliant, and the lead actress in it, who if I remember right, I think she's the writer director as well, Eva Victor. She's very much got a Julianne Moore vibe, and the way she's got this kind of, even when she's fooling around or maybe being a bit silly with friends, she has this kind of quietness about her that could become explosive at any moment. I'm not saying it necessarily does in the film. I'm just like, that's the way she is. But when she is expressing her emotions, it doesn't have to go like over the top and into any showy display. I think Julia Moore she can have her moments of showy display, but her best performances have her being a little bit more restrained. And Sorry Baby's great. Have any of you got to that one yet?
Not yet.
No, but it sounds good.
Yeah, no, I have not seen
It's really good. On Prime, I finally watched Boys from County Hell, which is about 5 years old now, and think it's been over 10 years since I saw the short film that ended up being expanded from. That's fun. It's an Irish horror comedy. A lair is disturbed with a creature ending up on the warpath to feed. It's got a good mix of the sort of low key Irish humour and then some good bits of bloodshed. So I recommend that as a good time. I finally watched Hatching, and I think I'm behind the times on that one because I'm sure everybody watched this a few years ago when it first came out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh well, fuck you guys. Go and watch Sorry Baby. I really liked Hatching because it is kind of what it is on the surface, and then everything else in the film is just, in a way, it's sort of more horrifying and horrible with what's being explored in terms of the young lead and kind of how she's pushed by her mother and the family dynamic and how that goes. Earlier this morning, it dropped on Shudder. I was very excited to watch Hill House LLC Lineage. And I know there aren't, many people who like the whole series as much as I do, but I'm a fan. And this is the 5th and supposedly the final installment. It's really bad. Really bad. It's done in a way that I actually wondered if I should have stopped it and gone and got notes for all of the other movies. Because it's one of those things where he just goes deeper into some lore that he's made up and tries to connect everything together, and you get these double backing moments and other characters. So I'm trying to remember who was who, and then thinking, does it matter? Does it matter if I haven't watched every installment before this one? It's a mess. He's gone sort of up his own backside. A couple of others, but I'll skim them. I watched Eileen on Netflix and I enjoyed that. I'm trying to get an early head start on Noirvember. I thought that would count as a noir. It's a very interesting little dark film. Anne Hathaway is good at it. Shea Wiggum is good in it. I don't think Thomasin McKenzie, I believe is her name. I think she's a little weak in the lead role, and I think it's because of the accent as well. Because I believe she is a Brit, isn't she? That's her that was in
I
Last
think
Night at
so.
Soho.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good film. I just think she was a bit weak there. And last, but by no means least, now I've mentioned this film over the past few weeks, and I was like, I'm going to hunt this down and watch it. I watched Necromancy from 1972, which I mentioned as being like the film that was a trailer on every VHS tape when I rented shit in the 80s because it had Orson Welles in a small role, and the trailer was like, Orson Welles in Necromancy. See Orson Welles with the dark magic. And yeah, it's really shit. like, it's so bad. I didn't realize it was directed by Bert I. Gordon, Mr. Big himself, who I have a soft spot for the likes of Empire of the Ants and other schlock. This is, I mean, it's just really bad. It's really quite dull. Doesn't have any proper scares. Every time Orson Welles appears, it's almost like the film grinds to a halt for this star cameo moment, and just to let him look at everyone around him and raise his eyebrows and then say a few lines and dismiss them with a quick glance to the side. That's it. But yeah, I'm kind of, although I resent having wasted my time on it, it's also like a big thing I can tick off a list now. Because when I was 7 or 8 years old, that looked like the best film ever. When I kept seeing the trailer, it's like, who's Orson Welles? Who's this mystery man? What is all this black magic that I'm going to see? So there you go. I wouldn't recommend anyone seek it out, but it was a big life moment for me.
Orson's looking down on you with absolute disgust.
I went to the theater and I saw Shelby Oaks. For me, it's the horror movie of the year, like by far. Genuinely creepy, super unnerving. The atmosphere is filled with this just constant foreboding dread throughout. It's got an excellent sound design with these just nonstop creaky floors and footsteps. It's got a great lead performance. It's well directed. I love the mix of found footage with mockumentary and conventional narrative. Honestly, it's really Blair Witch meets Rosemary's Baby walks into Hereditary, and they had a love child together. That's exactly what this movie is. I wish horror fans would go support stuff like this and not the Conjuring universe garbage, but that's not the world we live in, unfortunately. It's really good. Really, really fucking good. I like that one a lot. And besides that, I attempted some slasher homework and I watched Night of the Dribbler, which is about a killer wearing a basketball on his head, killing a basketball team one by one. Except here, guys, the killer only appears for like 5 minutes on screen. This movie was a huge pile of shit, just fucking garbage, barely a slasher, and just a really fucking shitty comedy. I mean, the jokes are so fucking bad in this movie. I wanted to fucking cry. Like, just awful. One of the jokes is that the basketball team name is the Watergate Plumbers. Isn't that funny, guys? Isn't that a fucking knee slapper? How hard are you laughing right now?
Jeez.
Ha 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 ha.
Exactly. Just, yeah, this was a waste of $20. I could have bought anything with this. Like sugar-free vanilla lotion from fucking Bath and Body Works, just anything. Just, this was horrible.
Wait, how
and
did you spend $20 on it?
I bought it on the computer. It was a code red
Jesus
DVD.
Christ.
The
We
cover
need
was
an
awesome.
intervention some weeks.
Oh, I
Dude,
don't
I
feel
am
so bad
looking
about
at the
owning Faithful
cover
Games
and
now.
I am looking at the cover and the fact that that convinced you to buy it, you deserve what you got.
Well, it's not a slasher movie. I mean, I guess it kind of is. People do get killed one by one, but it's like, I'm not even kidding. It's a slasher for like 5 minutes, and the rest is just a really bad, like, student bodies like type comedy. It's so bad. Like, just I wanted to watch a killer wearing a basketball on his head killing a basketball team. That's not what I got. It's a shame. It's
I
a
get
shame.
it. Like Tyler says, oh, I watched a film called Night of the Dribbler. It's about a guy with a basketball for a head. I was sold. I don't know if I was £20 sold. I would maybe would have looked for a torrent or something. But I get it. I get why you were swayed.
Yeah, no, and it's code red. They usually put out some decent like exploitation shit, so I expected at least something.
But they exploited the fuck out of you, Tyler.
They did exploit me, bad, bad. I'm very vulnerable right now after they exploited me. But I don't recommend that movie. It's very, very bad. And don't spend $20 on it. Just spend that 20 on like anything else, just anything. But yeah, that's me.
I didn't watch a lot this week because of all the slashing. I also watched Total Agreement. Yeah, I felt the same way. It was really strong. I really two leads. I really loved their chemistry. I mean, my one issue with it, and I don't understand it, is that two issues. One minor one is that the premise of the film is physically impossible. You can't run for 3 or 4 days without sleeping or stopping. You can't do it. It's stupid. But I let that go. The other thing that I don't know why the ending bothered me, and I won't tell you what it was, because it feels like the only ending the film could have had, and yet it just didn't hit as hard as it should. I didn't get it because the relationships were so well drawn, so well acted. I cared. I really, really cared, especially about these two main characters. But I don't know. They say Stephen King can't do endings. They say Stephen King can't do endings even when he can do endings. But there's something about that ending that just did not hit as hard as it should have done. It really should have done. But I thought it was really, and like Kevin said, I don't think it was enormously cinematic. You could do it on stage by putting just a bunch of what are those exercise things that you walk on?
Treadmills.
Yeah, put a bunch of treadmills on stage. You could do it on stage. Nothing stopping you. But yeah, I really liked it. I just about that ending that just didn't hit me as hard as it could because I cannot put my finger on it.
What I'll
Strange.
say without going into detail is they did things different from the story, and I was glad that they made some changes. And then
Okay.
I'll try and remember to mention that to you sometime when we're not recording the podcast.
All right. Cool.
But
Thank
yeah,
you.
I think essentially it maybe does still stem from the fact that King famously isn't great at endings. But I did like the ending of the story, but I don't think I would have liked it for the film, and I kinda liked what they did because of my worries of how it might have played out otherwise.
I mean, it seems like a natural ending for that film. It feels like it should click perfectly into place, and I don't know. But like, it was generally a really satisfying movie. Yeah, it'll be available to rent sometime soon. So go and give that one a look. Only other thing I watched this week, and I cannot remember that. You know what? I'm going to go on to Letterboxd, so I seem all professional and like I know these people's names. And Alexandre Bustillo and Jules Livid, their follow up to their excellent like French new wave extremity home invasion film Inside. Inside is fucking amazing. That's just below Martyrs as far as I'm concerned. You know, the new wave of French extremity table. I'm a really big fan of Inside, but like most of the directors who took part in that, you know, the French extremity thing, they all started strong and kind of just kept slipping down and down and down. Apart from maybe Arja, who, you know, I think probably The Hills Have Eyes is probably his best. So, but generally they just slipped down, and this is a few steps down from Inside. It's about a few teens who burgle a house and all sorts of supernatural shenanigans. It's solid, and there's some really good. The production design is a mix of really good and this kind of like James Wan-esque over designed crud. And the story's kind of the same. Like it's very. But there are lots of bits of work that work really well and lots of bits that don't, and it keeps alternating between the two. So you never really get a good. It never really lands completely. But you know the cast are good and it looks pretty a lot of the time. And I don't know. It's only about 80 minutes long. Good Halloween viewing if you want to like squeeze another one in tomorrow. But you could also just watch Inside, which is an absolute banger of a film, so just do that. But Livid's pretty good. Anyone seen Livid?
I have.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's just not Inside. Just like Patrick Laugier's stuff is you know not Martyrs and actually pretty awful after Martyrs. But yeah, that's me for the week. Just the two.
This week, we watched the 1979 American supernatural slasher film Tourist Trap, the 1984 American slasher film Fatal Games, originally called Killing Touch and also known as Olympic Nightmare, the 1988 American slasher film Out of the Dark, and the 1990 Spanish American slasher film Deadly Manor. Hey, let's see. Craig,
Yes.
would you like to pick a movie and tell us about it?
Sure, I'm going to go with Deadly Manor. You want a synopsis, don't you? Some idiots are going somewhere in their car, and then they get there and they explore a mansion, and that mansion is pretty deadly, guys. The Deadly Mansion is pretty deadly. It's your basic, very, very basic bitch slasher plot. Teenagers, murderer, blah blah blah. First thing about Deadly Manor, justice for Helen, the character of Helen in this film. She was cute, and she was not a piece of shit, and she did not deserve to die the way that she did. So, justice for Helen. Second, I'm going to ask, not a slasher film. If you get, just a bunch of the most repellent characters imaginable, have them force entry into somebody's house, into a stranger's house, drink their wine and have wet dreams in their bed, that's a home invasion film. That's how I'm viewing this one. This is a home, and the characters in it all deserve to die horribly. The characters in this are just some of the most awful people I've ever encountered in a film. They're very, very entitled, selfish, and awful, and very, very judgy because they break into a stranger's. The plot of the film. I'm going to go back to the synopsis. They're going somewhere over in their car, and it's raining a lot, getting dark. So so they say, let's turn off here. They turn off. They find a house, a little run down, but obviously, not abandoned. And one of them says, "Hey, I don't ever let you down." And they all just break into the house. They just break into a stranger's house because they're pieces of shit, and they're very entitled, and they are very judgy because they just wander around the house making judgments about their couple of hundred prominently displayed boudoir photos and their human scalp collection. Mind your business. This isn't your house. Just stop being pieces of shit. And I would mind them all being pieces of shit, being awful people, if I got to see them butchered in in a catalogue of heinous ways, if there was some really good bloodshed. But there is not one fun or interesting kill in this slasher movie, which is the chief crime any slasher can commit. There is not one good murder in the murder film, and it really pissed me off. I mean, I didn't 100% hate it. I thought it was an okay looking film. I think it's atmospherically lit and framed, and that's pretty much all it's got going for it until 10 minutes. And then you get the killer reveal, and that does bring a little bit of life to it, I'll admit. There are a couple of the villain performances aren't what you call good, but they are off kilter and strange enough to add another level of creepiness to the film, or add a little bit of, it makes everything a little bit more unhinged. I don't think they're genuinely good performances, but they're weird, and they get a bit of an edge in the last 10 minutes. I think the villains, it would have been a lot better if they'd been brought film around the halfway mark, or even earlier, but this film is really determined to sell you this one red herring that it's like a waiter coming up to you in a restaurant saying, "Red herring, sir? Herring? Red herring? Red herring?" They're really, really trying to sell you this fucking red herring, and we're not stupid. We're not fucking morons. We don't want the red herring. It's a film that has very little respect for the audience, I think. It's got when the dinner ladies in that they serve food to the paedophiles, it's here, take your slop, don't look at me, you disgust me. That's how much respect for the audience this film has. It's fun for me to shit on, but don't mistake that for being fun to watch, because it's very dull and it's very, very badly written. I'll give you a little bit. It's just a crack. A crack is a crack. This is the sort of thing we're working with. It's got the worst kissing I've ever seen in a film. Kissing that made me feel physically ill. There was very little to recommend about this film. Like I say, it looks nice, points, not even nice. It looks fine at points, and the actors playing the villains are reasonably effective and could have been way more effective if they were given more screen time. So it's just boring kind of bandwagon hopping slasher trash that is just very, very, very little fun at all. And I'm sad that I watched it, but glad I didn't buy it because it was Arrow released back when I used to buy everything that Arrow released, and this was around the time I stopped buying everything that they dropped, and thank God for that. So, yay for me.
We saved you.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah, woo.
I did not like this one, which is a shame because I loved Edge of the Axe, which was the director's previous film. So I was really looking forward to watching this one, knowing that he directed it. But it just ended up being like super disappointing. The kills are fucking lackluster as shit. I mean, most of them are off screen, which is like a waste for a slasher movie. Like, if you're gonna make an R-rated slasher movie and just show the kills, I mean, it would probably have saved this movie if we would have showed the goddamn kills. Half of this movie is literally just characters walking around oblivious and getting killed off screen. Uh, I mean, it does kind of pick up a little bit in the final 20 minutes or so, but it's really just not enough to save it, unfortunately. It does have a fairly decent, creepy house set up in the forest, and the atmosphere is okay, but that's really about it. The characters suck, the acting is bad. I just don't think there's really anything here that truly stands out to make it worth watching in terms of slasher flicks. There's so many better ones out there. And this one is just kind of there. It exists, and I'll forget I watched it in a week. Go watch Edge of the Axe instead. It's a lot better. And I will say this, it's better than Night of the Dribbler. Put that shit on the box.
There's a
Yeah.
character who, like, sorry.
No,
Carry
just
on.
yeah. It's that's about it. It's a bad movie, and it's a shame because Edge of the Axe was awesome, but this was just kind of there.
There's a guy who, like, kind of just shrugs off his girlfriend, like, leaving Helen, as I said, justice for Helen, walking through the woods in the middle of the night to go to another next town over. Just, yeah, walk across, walk miles and miles on your own. Fuck you. And that guy isn't even the worst character. He isn't even the most irritating or appealing character. That is the guy, sadly, in the Godzilla t-shirt who I throttle with his own innards. God, I hated that guy. So I just had to get that off my chest as well.
No,
God,
that's
I hated these
reasonable.
characters.
That's reasonable. I'm going to agree with Justice for Helen. Helen is not only is she an attractive young woman, she's also smart and leaves when she senses danger and doesn't laugh it off and should have survived. In any other better horror film, she would have been the last one standing, but no.
It should cut to her just eating bacon and eggs, sunrises, next town over, just alive, happy.
I would have been good with that, but we didn't get that. Instead, we got I don't even know. I think like we got a bunch of off-camera deaths. I think there's 2 on camera out of 6, which, and a lot of dead naked biker stills, which like I don't know how you find like a guy finds an album full of dead naked biker pictures and he looks through it and then he just sets it aside. Like he doesn't go and get help. He doesn't go, "Hey, I think something bad is going on here." He puts it aside and takes a nap. Now, if
Spunks
I
himself.
were if I were in a house checking out mysterious footsteps I'd heard and I found a catalog of murder victims, I would leave the house with my friends quickly. But that's
It
just
was
that's just
raining
me.
though. It was raining. Come on.
It wasn't raining. It didn't rain at all. There was no fucking rain in this movie. It is bone fucking dry.
But it was dark. It was dark and spooky
Boo
outside.
fucking who? You're living in a serial killer's house, an obviously lived-in house with working electricity. Yeah, they need a maid, but the bed's been made. It's clean where people are eating and sleeping. fucking leave. Anyway. Yeah, the kills suck. The actors suck. I basically agree 100% with Craig. I don't have much to say or add, except Amanda is played by Jennifer Delora. Do you know who she is? She's actually in a classic horror film from 1990.
No.
You got a guess there, Kevin? Tyler?
No, I can't say I recognize anyone in here.
T, I think you can guess this one. I'll give you a hint.
Night of the
There's a
Living Dead
lot.
remake?
No, there's a lot of naked people in it. Also, come on, T, take a guess.
Nude people, Tyler. A
Oh,
film
sorry.
you've seen with nude people. Come on.
Sorry, repeat that again. My fucking
Okay.
phone was on mute.
Okay, so Jennifer Delora, who plays
Mhm.
Amanda, is in a
Okay.
classic 1990 horror movie with a lot
Okay.
of naked people. Can you guess what cult classic 1990 horror film filled with nudity she's in?
Have I seen this movie?
You have definitely seen this movie.
Is it Frankenhooker?
It is Frankenhooker.
Yes.
You
I knew it.
beautiful, beautiful man.
Yes.
She is the first hooker to explode after smoking super crack.
Oh,
I thought you guys would appreciate that.
Absolutely.
She's the one that says, "Is it hot in here or is it me?" and then explodes. So,
Oh, I love Frankenhooker.
yeah, Frankenhooker's great. That's all I got to say about this.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty much in agreement with you guys. I hadn't seen this, although unlike Craig, I did make the blind buy. Damn it.
You did.
So I was hoping it would be a bit better. And it's weird because you can tell like there's just random naked bodies strewn about in the first couple of minutes. And you can tell that it's like someone was told what a slasher movie is. And like, yeah, you see some tits and then you try and build atmosphere and then there are kills. And that was just lost in translation. Like this is a version without any of the good stuff. As Craig said, all of the characters are horrible generally, apart from his favorite.
Helen.
They, yeah, I didn't like any of the kills. I didn't think they were like very well done or very impressive. And if a slasher movie is offering you nothing else, it should at least do some gore gags and stuff. And like it has everything almost like a checklist. Like as soon as the group was talking at the start and the folk came from the back on the bike, I'm not saying this to be like mean or judgmental, but I was like, oh, so they've even got like the funny fat character who was a slasher movie archetype that they would use, or a horror movie archetype that you would use through the 80s and 90s. They could be annoying, but they would be delivering all the funny lines, and they would be there. They wouldn't be threatening to run off with any women, but they would still be doing some funny lines, even when it's supposed to get more tense. And it's really tiresome when it's like it's not well done, and it is like it's insulting to the cast and to everyone in that group, because everyone's just I don't know if what to say, like archetype or stereotype, but just the way they're done, it's weak writing, and it's types, and everyone is generally pigeonholed into types. But unfortunately, the funny character is the worst one, because it's just like really annoying, and that character has been really annoying in various horror movies from the past few decades. So I didn't think this was going to go well, and then it just didn't. The reveal in the third act, it's mildly amusing, but not enough to save the film. And yeah, it's generally quite dull. And when things are thrown in there, oh, it's been a while. Let's get some extra nudity back on screen. That's it. You can just tell they're kind of going through this checklist and trying to do it that way, and it's incredibly boring. So I didn't enjoy this. I'm sorry I foisted it all upon you.
What a weird choice of final girl as well. It's like, what? She only became the final girl because she was so forgettable. Like, we'd forgotten she was there. The killers have probably just not noticed her until there was no one else left. There's one left.
I mean, I thought they were all really forgettable. Like one massive forgettable group, and the main characters who are there at the end, I think, like I don't mind that, like bit of makeup, and the character kind of popping up in an easy fright way when they're chasing after others. That that saved it from being a complete snooze fest for the whole runtime. But it's I mean, it's really not good. That's that. What shall I pick next? I'll go with Dave's. Dave picked Tourist Trap, and I had very recently seen Tourist Trap for the first time, and fortunately, I enjoyed Tourist Trap. So I was like, yeah, I'll rewatch it, see if I've got anything extra to add. I don't think I have too much to add to my initial thoughts from when I reviewed it, Dave. But Tourist Trap's really, like, it's a really good, solid, weird little horror film. David Schmiller, who directed and I think co-wrote. I can't recall if this was his first film or not. His first feature. Might have been.
It is his first feature.
He does really good at, like, he populates the screen with oddness in a way that keeps it interesting and like constantly unnerving. It's really good. I know that Tyler will say the same thing. This is similar to the House of Wax. We were going to say with the mannequins and the stuff, the way they're moved about. So it's that basically more than your standards sort of. Did they still call it like hillbilly horror, or am I offending hillbillies? I don't know. It's more in line with that than Wrong Turn movies and Hills Have Eyes and all that.
Proper hillbillies won't care.
Okay,
So,
that's fine.
fuck 'em.
Chuck Connors is in this. He's a main character in this, and I like him. I generally like this cast. Now, again, I don't think they're all very memorable, but I think there are one or two that stand out for the right reasons and are really good. I'm sure. I'm trying to think of what else I've seen her in. Tanya Roberts was really good, and I kept wondering where else I'd seen her. I couldn't remember. It's not Frankenhooker, but it's something. And she has a striking look.
Well, she's in A View to Kill.
Oh, well, that'll be it.
She's in that music video. In Beastmaster. She's in Beastmaster.
Dave, am I going to have to remind you that I've still not seen Beastmaster? Because I know you've got to pick it for the podcast at some point now.
Oh, yeah.
I've just
shit.
left it. For
Do I get two this month? I might have to do it this month then. Not next week, but soon.
Well, don't do it while I'm off recruiting the squirrel army again.
I won't.
Be warned. I think this is, I think it's really good. It's the atmosphere in this reminds me of the atmosphere that I enjoyed in House of a Thousand Corpses. It is that it really is that feeling of people who are off the main road, finding somewhere that's full of curios. As someone who might be a bit off, but also might be helpful, they can't quite tell how to take them, and eventually things start getting worse and worse, and they are there at the mercy of potential lunatics. It's great. And the ending, I think, is brilliant. I love the what I say, like the final 5 minutes or so. It's bonkers in absolutely the right way. I think it's great. Yeah, this was a good one to revisit so soon, Dave, and I'm pleased.
Yay!
For so many years, I never knew this was a PG rated horror movie. Granted, it is late 70s PG, which was a totally different time for the MPAA, but man, did they push that PG as far as they could in this. I've always really dug Tourist Trap. You can definitely, as Kevin said, you can definitely see the influence it had on the 2005 version of House of Wax 2, since that is essentially a Tourist Trap remake more so than a House of Wax remake. I love the locations here. Very 70s backwoods, very Texas Chainsaw Massacre in style. Those mannequins are fucking great. I love those mannequins. The plot, it does your standard, young friends, car breaks down in the middle of nowhere plot. But before that was really like a cliche setup. But I've always loved that setup, especially in backwoods horror. And it works so good here. I mean, the acting for the most part, it's mostly subpar, but they're fine. They're fine for what they're given. They're fine in this movie. The villain is great. It's got a really good atmosphere. It's a really solid mix of slasher and supernatural horror. I really dug this one on revisit. Yeah, this was a really, really good pick, Dave. I'm happy I got to watch this one again.
Double yay!
Okay. All of tonight's films were first time watches for me this week. I'd never seen any of them before, but this is one that had been on my watch list for a really long time. It's been on Prime for ages. It's been languishing on my watch list. I think I've even pressed play a couple of times and then heard that theme music, and it has just put me off like immediately. So thank you, Dave, for forcing me to actually get on with it. I watched Tourist Trap because I kind of loved Tourist Trap. It's a special little movie. If you break it down into its constituent parts, it's really just the story beats, some of the story beats and themes from Psycho, plus the setting and general aesthetic of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just a pair of those two films kind of squashed together, but the result when they are squashed together somehow comes out as this really unique, odd little movie. It grabbed me immediately. The first kill you see in the film is pretty gnarly, and it sets out the film's stall pretty much perfectly. When the first character dies, the expression on that guy's face as he dies, kind of it's the movie. That look on his face is the movie. He dies with on his face of horror and bemusement and disbelief. This is a slasher film, but also it's a great fucking supernatural horror, because I don't really like it. This is a pure distillation of what supernatural horror does best when it's done well. You're going to die, but you're going to die in such a way that everything you know is turned on its head, and suddenly you understand absolutely nothing about the world. You kind of die in a foreign land, just completely confused and disoriented, and just realizing you knew nothing. It's such a. That's what I think supernatural horror should do. I think too often we see supernatural horror, people are too self-aware in those films, whereas here they're not. They see the supernatural occurrences in this film, and they are horrified and confused and bemused and terrified, and I love that. And it's got a great fucking villain. Chuck Connors. I cannot praise him enough for this. He is absolutely fantastic in this film. He found this middle ground, like between John Boy Walton and Ed Gein, where he is just the most super amiable person throughout most of the film. But there's that sinister quality in the background with that fucking laugh of his is spectacular. He is what the film is. He's got this he's melancholic and macabre at the same time, and it's just a really, really great fucking performance. I like the score, got a solid kind of score. Production design is really, really sells it. Like I said, I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is an inspiration, but it's its own thing as well, and it's really strong production design. It's really fantastic. And the only thing I want Nathan Fielder for you to just go and pay this guy a visit and explain to him that if you murder all of your customers, you're not getting word of mouth. Point. It's not good business. But other than that, I loved it. It's sad and the way it builds, man, it just builds the crazy until it reaches this kind of crescendo of fucking insanity. Just mind blowing. Like I'm a really, really big fan of this film now. So yeah, really, really wonderful pick. Cheers, David.
I adore Tourist Trap, and it's why I've kept it in my back pocket for many years. And unlike Kevin, I hadn't seen it recently. I did remember he'd seen it, and I knew that Craig hadn't seen it. So, it's one I've been holding on to for a while, and I adore it. Chuck Connors, Mr. Slauson, is one of my favorite horror villains. Davy Slauson is played by Shyler Kobe. In the credits, that's just Chuck Connors using a pseudonym of his two sons' names. Tanya Roberts is really good. I really like Robin Sherwood and Jocelyn Jones as Eileen and Molly, her friends. Tragically, Woody does not get much to do, so I can't say how much I enjoy Keith McDermott in it. Linnea Quigley has a cameo as a mannequin, which is always a fun thing. I really like the kills in this quite a bit. I think a lot of them are they really embrace and play with the concept. This was originally planned to be directed by John Carpenter. That was the original pitch. It's just they couldn't get the money together to afford Carpenter. So they opted to have Schmoller film it instead and direct. So that's why it is what it is. And I like Schmoller's films overall. They're B films, but they're a lot of fun for the most part. It leans heavy into surrealist stuff. I love the unaddressed, but obviously they're psychokinetic powers that are just like, oh, and by the way, he's also telekinetic. Have fun. Again, I love all the kills. I actually enjoy the little time we spend with the characters. The Woody scene in the final act is fantastic. It is one of my favorite fake outs because it's just so weird and so out of nowhere. But mostly I love Chuck Connors in this movie. Absolutely adore him. I think Jocelyn Jones as Molly is really good. They work really well together in the final act. I am a big fan, and I am so glad that not only did I get to pick it, you guys got to gush about it, so I didn't have to myself. I have pages of notes that just come down to, the highway's really fucked up small town serial killers, huh? 'Cause, I mean, it's not just him. Buffalo Bill, Norman Bates, Leatherface. I mean, there's tons of them. Just like the highway came in, they lost business and they just started killing every kid they could meet. And it's a shame. But I adore Tourist Trap, and if you haven't seen it, I cannot I cannot ask you to go do yourself a favor and go watch it enough. It is such a fun horror movie, and it is so rare to watch something that's really fun, especially after years of doing this podcast and watching all these horror movies where it seems like we're just kind of like locked in a death grip on each other's necks. This really made me happy, and the response to it really made me happy. I love Tourist Trap.
Yay. Chuck Connors is so amiable in this. Like from the start, it's obvious he's going to turn out to be the villain, and there wasn't a point where I lost sympathy for him entirely. Like I thought he was sad. I love a bit of sad horror, and I way through it. It's just such a good performance, man.
It's
So good.
Yeah, I love it, and I love him playing both sides of the role. Even when he's being full on, I'm crazy. Like he brings a lot to it. It's a great horror villain, and it's a shame it doesn't get a little bit more respect. But whatever. Oh man, I guess I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off this one. I'm gonna go with Fatal Games, originally known as The Killing Touch and Olympic Nightmare. It's oh man, it's directed by Michael Elliott and written by Elliott with Raphael Brunel and Christopher Mankiewicz. Stars Sally Kirkland, who I've not seen a lot of Sally Kirkland stuff, and it took me fucking forever to realize that's who that was. Lynn Banesk, Sean Masterson, and Michael O'Leary. It is about I don't understand this school they're going to. Anyway, the Special Academy of Olympics, where I guess they're all Olympic hopefuls, although they all kind of suck at their sport, and there's only 2 coaches for the whole fucking school, are training to go to national competitions in the hopes of going to the Olympics in the near future. These kids include Annie, Sue, and Nancy, who are gymnasts. Joe and Phil, one does javelin and the other one's track. And Lynn, who is a swimmer. Somebody starts killing the kids with a javelin, and they disappear, so they don't find their bodies. So nobody's freaked out until the end, and it is I fucking hated this one. I fucking hated this one so bad. There's bits I didn't mind. I like some of the kills. Some of the kills I really enjoyed. The first one cracks me up. They get a javelin in their chest and they fly backwards 20 feet to be impaled in the wall. Give it to me. That's what I want. The problem is everything that is not a kill is atrocious. It's not fun. It's not funny. These aren't characters I want to spend time with. I want them to be suffocated in their sleep. They are that horrific. Annie just is angry at her boyfriend for doing the same thing she's doing, but it's not, how she wants it. So there's drama, but it's stupid drama. It's crap drama. And then the killer reveal is, oh, how do I deal with the killer reveal? We, as a society, and we've talked about this on this podcast a few times, we are not nice to our transgender brothers, sisters, and non-binary siblings. And this movie uses a trans villain reveal, and it is
Oof.
it is horrific. And not like in a, hey, we're watching a horror movie, it's horrific kind of way, but in a, I get it was the 80s, but holy fuck, did you have to put a voice manipulation on it after that reveal? Did you have to come up with that excuse? Like it is bad. Now, granted, I am looking back 41 years later from my very woke uh parapet, but I can't see this being like a good idea even in 1984. And it's not the first time we've seen a movie from that year that had a similar reveal, and it's not good. I don't know what the fuck was going on to make this a common killer trope in the 80s and then carry on as the butt of jokes in the 90s, but it's bad. It's poorly done. It's and it just doesn't help this movie who I don't know how they fucking scammed ASICS for the money for this budget, but they had to because there's ASICS logos on fucking everything. The signs they use in the background have ASICS logos. The school shirts have ASICS logos. Like they got money to make this, and whoever like signed off on that, I hope they were ashamed for the rest of their careers and every day after it. It's just terrible. You have to have a level of competence. And I will say whoever shot it knew how to focus the camera and light a scene as flatly as possible. But besides the kills, and again, I enjoyed some of the kills. I liked the chase from the sauna through the school. Uh, okay, I like two of the kills because I'm thinking of all the others, and after that, they're not good. But there's two decent kills, and that's something. But like you should not watch this. That this got a Blu-ray for a lot of other better movies just kind of makes me sad for the boutique distributors I usually enjoy. It's just bad. And it's not fun bad, it's just bad. Maybe if it was meta or it had a sense of self-awareness, but instead it's just tired cliche. And it's 1984. You shouldn't be this tired and cliche already.
Dave has already said plenty. Like I have nothing much to add to this. It's although I'm not even going to be as generous as him. I think it looked ugly. Like I don't think it was very inventive. It wasn't well paced. I did also enjoy that first kill because not only is someone impaled by a javelin coming upwards that pins them against the wall, but that person was weightlifting at the time. So I can only assume the killer had some javelin throwing device that was like one of those tennis ball machines, because that's the only way surely to get that amount of force hurtling that way. Like wherever the killer stood, there was always room for a big javelin throw to impale people, which is
That character was annoyed that they didn't pick team. Like, really? You've got an arm there. You've got a hell of an arm.
yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous and amusing, but not good. I didn't like it, and yeah, I mean the killer reveal is, it's whoa. When it turned up, I was like, really? This is where it's going, which it helps that obviously they leave a newspaper article lying around that details the tragedy in their past, because I think that's what every killer does in the finale when the red herrings are done. I don't even know if there were any red herrings here. Just you would see some moments now and again of people on a field, and I think it was one other person threw a javelin, and I saw him throw a javelin. And I just thought, yeah, it's not him, because they're immediately showing him throwing a javelin. I'm like, no, like you're not gonna get me with your cunning double bluff. So yeah, I just didn't like this one, but it's so preposterous that I think I would put this one, ahead of my choice in terms of at least just having absolute silliness throughout that saves it from being as dull as the worst of the slashers could be in this era, and mine was more on the dull side. So it wasn't. I don't think it was the worst one this week, Craig, but that's just because I picked something painfully beige.
So I actually like this one. For a bad 80s slasher, it pretty much delivered what I was hoping for. Maybe because I watched it after Deadly Manor and Night of the Dribbler, who knows? But I mean, there's a lot of like gratuitous nudity, just random massages, some 80s bush, and I love the whole javelin setup with the kills. It's really fucking stupid. I mean, it's goofy as fuck, but it really worked for me in this. I mean, and that's an awesome tracksuit too. I want one. Just a badass tracksuit. Um, I like that it's set in an athletic academy. The setting kind of took me back to the more lower tier 80s slashers like Graduation Day or The Dorm That Dripped Blood. You guys remember Graduation Day? I mean, the killer also rocked a dope ass tracksuit, but instead of like a javelin, I think it was a fencing sword. I haven't seen that movie
It
in years.
was, yeah. He had a
Yeah.
So
well,
yeah.
Yeah, he had like a
I
full.
knew that you would find something to enjoy in this when a woman received a massage that was bordering on a colonoscopy.
Yes.
bordering nothing, and that just makes the reveal even.
That was a very intimate massage. I mean, I would take one just right now, but yeah, it's okay. Um, the ending reveal is a choice, and it's a choice they made. So I'm just gonna chalk it up to being a different time period. Sometimes things don't age well. It happens in films sometimes. Sleepaway Camp is one of the most popular 80s slashers out there, and people love that one. So it, it kind of goes hand in hand. It's a very similar reveal, but overall, yeah, I enjoyed this one. I mean, it's not perfect. It's a bad movie, but I enjoyed it. I actually ordered the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray after watching it. That's how much I kind of dug it. So yeah, it's not great, but it delivered on what an 80s slasher movie should for me. So I enjoyed it for that reason.
Yeah, like I said, all 4 films this week, first time watches. At the top of my notes, it just says, I didn't know. And that references the fact that I did not know that this was going to be a transphobic piece of trash. Like, I missed a trans movie special. I missed our LGBTQ plus movies special, and now I brought the most transphobic film this podcast has ever seen. So I just want to make it clear, this is not a pattern of behaviour. This is a sad coincidence. Much love to my trans and non-binary brothers in between, and I didn't know. I did not know, and even at first when we put it on, I thought maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's got more in its mind. Maybe what it's got in its mind is like doping and using drugs to enhance, athletic ability. Maybe that's what. No, it's transphobic garbage. That the hot dog foreshadowing at the beginning gave me the ick, and I knew what I was going to get, and I felt bad. I'm sorry, and I still feel bad. And then the rest is bad. Like, the rest doesn't make up. There's a little bit of animal cruelty. Fuck that. There's a lot of. It's weird. Tyler's Choice, which we'll speak about in a minute. That's an overtly sleazy. Whereas this film tries to be a slightly covertly, by excusing the sleaze, but just becomes a more sleazy film. Like, there are so many shower scenes, massages, and it's weird because the kids in this film do not fuck. These are not people who fuck, like, at all. So it was weird for it to all be so sleazy. It looks like crap. It is very, very poorly lit and poorly paced. So what it does not need in the third act is just a really long scene, guy exploring a dimly lit building whilst on crutches. It's like a long scene of a man in crutches just walking around the building, opening doors and having a little look around. And then moving on. Just what a dull fucking scene. It pays off a little bit when he has to run the killer on his crutches, which was kind of fun the way they sped it out, but most of it is just very dull, very bad. There are a couple of things. Theme music for shit. That beginning theme is awesome. The closing theme is awesome, and I like most of the kills. I think the editing and the effects and the sound design, they give the kills some real oomph. Like most of the time you feel that hit. I wish it wasn't always the fucking javelin, because like there's no excuse for that little. It the setting suggests variety, and they don't give it to you. Like give me my shot put murder, give me my discus murder, and they really drop the there with the variety of kills, which it should have been so obvious. Like it's just a boring movie with a stupid shitty ending, and there are some okay kills, but generally it's all just unforgivable, and it's about athletics. Athletics shit, man. Athletics are just arbitrary activities that people invented just so they can say, "Hey, I'm the best at throwing a disc really far." Like, who asked you to do that? No one. Fuck you. Like, you're gonna dedicate your life to running exactly 200 meters. Grow up. Like, what the fuck? I hate athletics, and I really don't like Fatal Games. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. See, I'll be flip cover soon, so there's that. I'm glad I made somebody happy, but no, Fatal Games. You know what? Being transphobic sucks, and being boring sucks almost as much. So not a fan of this one. But Kevin is right. It was better than his pick. Do I continue now and do Avatar?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Sure, why not? Oh, no, that means I need to do another synopsis. I'm terrible at synopsis. Steve?
You know what?
Not
I won't
try?
do you. I'll do you a solid. I'll do it. It's okay.
Oh, thanks.
I'll do you a solid.
Thanks, Pickle.
Tyler avoided this week, so I'll do it. Sweet Nothings is an LA phone sex line voiced by young women who are trying to make it big in Hollywood. Newcomer. Crap. What was the new one's name? I didn't write it down. Anyway, when a new girl comes in, we get to meet them all and their owner, who's played by Karen Black, and they all get their headshots done by photographer Kevin. Meanwhile, Kevin's got the ire of his former mentor, and the girls like to treat CPA David like crap as he shares an office on their floor. Fortunately, though, Dr. Bobo, a psychotic wearing a clown mask, begins to pick them off one by one because he hates lies. So, Out of the Dark, there are actually bits I enjoy in Out of the Dark. The supporting cast in this film is fantastic. Tragically, they're not used to the best of their ability, but you've got Bud Cort, Jeffrey Lewis, Divine, Lainey Kazan, Tab Hunter, Paul Bartel. Like, the supporting cast is so good. Tracy Walter is one of the detectives. Who's the other detective? I've seen the other detective and stuff, and I am totally brain farting. Sorry. Just like some really solid supporting actors who are game to do what they're being asked to do. And even the main cast is fine for a film of this time. they're they hold up perfectly well. Kevin is played by Cameron Dye, and he's fine. He was in a ton of 80s horror movies. He's in Last Starfighter, obviously. He's in let me think. He's in Men at Work. It's one of the secondary guys. I think he had a recurring role in Smallville. It's decent. I did not hate it. I think, Bobo might be a bit much. Like, I think there's a good idea there that doesn't land, but I enjoyed the kills. I didn't hate any of the girls. The first victim is actually played by it has been one of those days. I am so sorry. Anyway, is played by the former wife of the guy that created The Big Bang Theory, Chuck Lorre, who has fucked up television comedy forever by just 40 years of shit. So that's a fun little fact. I can't remember her name to save my life, and I feel really bad about that. Karen Lorre, I knew I'd think of it, is the first victim. So that's a fun little tie-in. But I think the cast is fine. The kills are okay. The reveal is obvious. Like, if you don't see where this is going, you are not paying any fucking attention to the movie, and you should pay attention to the fucking movie, because why else are you watching the goddamn movie? Bud Cort is good in his few scenes. It's it's fine. I hadn't seen this one before. I didn't hate it. I'm probably not going to watch it again, but I think at its heart there is a good idea, and there could have been a really fun film. And if I'd watched this growing up on USA Up All Night, I'd probably be a fan, but I didn't. So it's just kind of there. But you could do much worse. You could watch Fatal Games, and you shouldn't do that.
Why? I have a kind of 3-strike rule for slashers. You've got to have there are 3 categories, and you've got to hit one of them. The first one is your film can be legit suspenseful, and that's really fucking rare. Original Halloween, Black Christmas, bits of The Prowler and My Bloody Valentine, but it hardly ever have any slasher films actually suspenseful. Second, kills. I'll forgive a lot of shit if you can give me some good kills, some imaginative bloodletting, gore, some splatter. Give me the good shit. And number 3, just have a unique quality. Be really cheesy. Be weird. I'm thinking Massacre 2, which everything Louise Lasser does, Blood Rage, just makes that film stand out in my mind. Out of the Dark, it's not awful. It's not even particularly bad, but it doesn't move the dial really in any of those. If sleaze was a factor into sleaze as much as other people, this would be a fucking winner. Just immediate sleaze, that's actually the name of the band. If you want to book us, Immediate Sleaze, we'll come and play your strip club anytime. It's essentially a Skinny Max Black Christmas, basically, is what you get here, and I get why T likes it. It's got the sleaze, and there's a certain Rob Zombie-ness to the dialogue that T is just gonna eat up. There was a I can't remember the line, but it made me groan, and then it made me think Tyler's gonna love that line. And then he told in the chat on Facebook, "This is my favourite line of dialogue." I goddamn knew it. It just, I didn't dislike it. It doesn't do any of the things that I need a slasher movie to do. I didn't think any of the kills were particularly imaginative or fun. Aside from that kind of John Woo style excess of the villain death, there was no need for that, but I appreciate it. It doesn't have, that unique element. It doesn't have that identity stand out for me. The only of those three categories it nearly scores a point. Weirdly enough, toughest category, like genuinely being suspenseful, because that first silent Bobo kill where he doesn't speak is kind of fucking eerie, and I kind of forgot about the Bobo was going to be a silent killer when he wasn't on the phone, and that would have worked so much better for me. Bobo his mouth. He ceases to be menacing. He's doing the gags. He's doing the the last Freddy shit, and it kind of ruined that character. It was a bad decision. I think he should have been outside of the phone calls. That worked a lot better for me. But like Dave, I love the support cast: Divine, Jeffrey Lewis, Bud Cort, Karen Black. Tracy Walter is like a great character actor, like a classic, like William Sanderson from now on. I have Always Sunny, where he has no lines and he's masturbating in a valley, and that's just who he is now. You got Bud Cort. It's just a really fucking great. I mean, the whole cast is good. The rest of the cast are good. Really strong. Like, I appreciate some of the camp aspects to this. I feel like it wants to be more camp, but they unfortunately they make the tone uneven. It looks good. Like this film probably has quite a low budget, but it has strong production. How to spend $1, like really fucking well. Like this movie is so well throughout. Like I've apart from Fatal Games, I've noticed all films are really lit, and I can't work out just modern films are just really poorly lit, or these well lit. I don't know, but maybe it's a slasher thing. They're really well lit, and this one in particular. I just think it could have been better. I think it could have. There are themes it could have expanded on to be a more interesting film. Instead, they just went with all the grotty like nudity and which I know that rocks Tyler's world, but it didn't work for me. Like, who is horny in the third act of this film, apart from Tyler and the people in this film, the leads in this film? You should not be horny. Have been murdered brutally, but I don't know. It's a bit of a hodgepodge. Like I didn't even, and I will give it a point because I didn't love the dialogue. But there's a line near the end. Who's calling at this hour? Which genuinely made me like laugh out loud. So it's not a disaster. It's great supporting cast, and obviously like a really capable crew. Like they're all very capable filmmakers. They just the script is a muddle, and it just doesn't really work for me. But much better than Faithful Games, and I can't even remember its name. I was Kevin Monstrosity or Deadly Manor. No, Kevin's Monstrosity. Yeah, Out of the Dark's fine ish.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed this one. I kept thinking I'd seen this before, and I haven't. I was thinking of the early 80s Alone in the Dark, I think. Or maybe I'm just thinking of, was there some other was there some Uwe Boll Alone in the Dark?
Well, there was, but there's also the '80s slasher film with Donald Pleasance
Pleasance.
and I don't remember who the other guy is off the top of my head.
Well, they all get mixed up in my mind because I think the title Alone in the Dark is quite familiar. And then also I'm thinking I would associate it with the cover for
Fade to Black.
Yeah. Has a guy in sort of clown-ish makeup, doesn't it?
Well, it's got a guy in a bunch of makeups because it's a bunch of the different.
He dresses up as a different sort of movie characters. So anyway, that's where my confusion went over the years. So when Tyler picked this, I was like, "Oh, I've seen that Out of the Dark." I hadn't, and I'm pretty glad I did. I think it's yeah, it's a decent little film. It's like an odd one, and I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on why. Like, I didn't like it so much as a slasher, but there are good slasher movie moments in it when Bobo is doing his thing. Um, but I think I liked it more because, as you guys mentioned, the supporting cast is full of people who are, you know, um, worth keeping an eye on. So when they pop up, you're just sort of always entertained and busy around the screen. And I I think it sort of, I mean, it was quite good in terms of how it depicted the women who are at the center of it, who are the focus of this, killer's, target. It it could have gone in so many worse ways. They they feel like a good work group, and they bring this new woman in, and they're telling her the rules, and they're doing their job and try to make money on these phone lines. And I don't know, it it felt like it just felt much better than I expected it to be, considering the subject matter and how slasher movies, particularly of this period, might be inclined to, uh, punish all of these women at all times for having a job that's sex positive. Now, we know that the killer is out there being twisted and looking to fatally punish people for his vendetta, and there are judgments made by other characters, but I think the women themselves are portrayed really well, and they're just allowed to feel like quite authentic and rounded. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this one, and it was a lot better than the monstrosity that I picked.
I cut her nipples off and filed them under N for no tits. That's my favorite quote. That was the one.
That's the one. That's the
Yeah.
one.
So good. So
I'm
good.
like
Amazing.
I'm like Leonardo DiCaprio, and yeah, I'm like, yeah, Tyler loved that line.
Oh, I do so much. When someone asks me what my favorite 80s slashers are, one of my very first answers is always going to be Out of the Dark. I fucking love this movie so much. It's just a wonderful slice of just true 80s sleaze. It almost plays out like this whodunit slasher soap opera. I mean, softcore sex scenes, nude photo shoots with fog machines, lots of neon, a killer clown who rocks some Converse. Dude, yeah, this movie feels like Brian De Palma cosplayed as Jim Wynorski and made an erotic thriller under a fake name. I mean, that's exactly what this movie feels like. I love Bobo's mask. That mask looks so fucking big on that dude's body. It's great. I love that mask. I want it. I want it for my collection. It's got a fantastic supporting cast, as you guys said. Seriously, this cast is amazing. Karen Black, Divine pops up. Who doesn't love Divine? Tab Hunter, Jeffrey Lewis, just incredible, incredible cast. I love that phone sex office. I want a fucking franchise of just the girls working in that office. They have good chemistry. I love the vibe. But Kevin said it's actually super, super sex work positive for a slasher movie. It just doesn't happen very often. And I love the whole vibe of that phone sex office. It's got some fun kills. Love that shovel to the head death. Love that car chase that followed it too. It's so good. But yeah, I blind bought this on VHS when I was in like middle school. I still have that tape actually, and yeah, I've loved it ever since. Just a sleazy little underappreciated gem of a horror movie. Just so much fun. Just I love it.
All right, guys, it's time to pick one. I mean, for me, it's Tourist Trap, but your miles may vary.
Tourist Trap, like, and by 1,000 miles, like the rest of these films aren't really a view, just they're dust. Tourist Trap, loved it.
Yeah, Tourist Trap before Tyler says Out of Dark.
Yeah, I feel bad for sweep denying Dave here, but yeah, I gotta go with Out of the
No,
Dark.
you don't. No, you fucking don't.
No, I kind of feel bad because Tourist Trap is really fucking good too, but it's not Out of the Dark, unfortunately.
That's right. It's better. But next week we go back to the normal. And it's me and Kevin picking. So Kevin, what do you got for us?
Are you sure you want me to go first? Because I'm going big.
Yes. Yeah, go. You go first.
Just so you know, I'm
You
going.
go first.
I'm bringing a biggie.
Okay.
Okay. We're watching One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to win with my pick anyway. I just wanted something to break up the horror. And I have to announce the special this week. So, I've never seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and there's a reason for it, and I'll tell you next week. On the other hand, we're going to fire up Netflix, and we're going to watch the 2024 film version of the classic manga City Hunter.
Okay.
I wanted something fun and crime based, and that's what I went for. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited. Our special this month, guys. We're gonna celebrate the cheesy bee for turkeys and Turkey Day in the U.S. by doing a special for bee film directors. Now, there's a rule. There's no repeating film directors. So if somebody gets one, you're gonna have to find someone else. You can go with Corman, Lloyd Kaufman, Andy Sedaris, maybe some Zalman King, maybe some Herman Yao, David Dakota. We haven't done a David Dakota in a while. Stephen Miller, Albert Punion, Fred Olin Ray, but I'm not going for any of them. Do you know who I'm going with? I'm going with Jim Wynorski.
Ooh, that was gonna be mine. But yes.
Yeah, I know it was. That's why I'm cutting you off at the pass. And I'm going with 1986's Chopping Mall.
Nice.
Yes. So I'm very excited for Chopping Mall.
Yeah, I'm excited for Chopping Mall too. We were going to watch it this week, but Kevin was right. It was not a slasher, so I pivoted to a better film.
I've got my director in my mind, and now I sort of like, can I choose mine right now so that no one can beat me to direct?
Well, yeah, you claim it in the chat after we're done recording, and sure.
Yay!
Although you do know that no one is going to take Don Doler from you now that I've gone.
Oh no! I love Dom, but I'm gonna keep the last couple of Doms in my back pocket. I've got somebody else. I got another mad genius in mind.
Excellent. T,
Yo.
because you denied me my sweep, you want to give him to business?
Sure. I'm upset that I can't pick Playmate of the Apes now, or The Hills Have Thighs. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I knew exactly what I was doing because while we were talking about it and I was like, oh man, B movies would be great. I better grab Jim Wynorski before Tyler makes us do like Bear Winch Project.
I would, if I was gonna pick Jim Wynorski, I would have actually picked Cheerleader Massacre, that one that's like a Slumber Party Massacre sequel where the killer from the first movie time travels. I wanted to pick that too, but maybe one day.
What happened? I have that and 2 on a 2-pack DVD on my shelf right there.
It's a bad movie, but it's fun.
It is a bad movie.
We're on Instagram, Raiders_of_the_podcast. We're on Facebook, where I sometimes remember to post stuff on Wednesdays. We have a YouTube channel where you can like, subscribe, and comment and watch Kevin's totally awesome videos. We have a Discord. We have a Blue Sky, and you can always email us at raidersofthepodcast@gmail.com.
As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, guys. I will talk to you next week.
Catch you next week.
See ya.
See ya.